Alright, let's pick it up here. We just saved Hilda from the sin of gluttony. What? You're always surrounded by cake and jello. Okay, Hilda's part of my party now, so I'm just going to change a few things. For one of them, she's going to have the demon ward for now. I'm just going to use some items to restore everyone. Use health items and some magic items. Plus, I'm going to equip Hilda's stellar chart back, and that would be Scorpio. So I'm going to customize Frank's ring. I'm going to the Hell of Lust. So this means physical attack down is the way to go. Okay. There we go. Alright. Let's go. Now, always remember that when you, before you leave, encounter the enemies here and photograph them if you want to be the Snap Master. Okay, going this way. I actually encounter way too many fights, and just warn you, the enemies here are very, very tough in Shadowheart standards. I kind of dismissed that because Valkyrie profiles enemies in Seraphic Gate are super challenging and have much more health than the enemies here. The strongest enemy in... not supposed to go this way. It's supposed to go this way. The hardest enemy here has like on 1,000 or so HP. Like one of the earlier bosses, so not that much.
I can do it. I'll take you out.
Let's just do this. I'm just gonna be cheap and use Ether Purge. Even though this is gonna waste a lot of my magic, but one of the enemies here is already pretty strong. The strongest one is like 960 HP. So I'm not exactly gonna bring it down with one fell swoop with this. So I'm gonna have to have somebody else finish it off. Even so, I do get rid of the cockroach things, the flaming ones. And I got those side whoops. Last chance. Okay, let's go. That was easy.
Sorry, but I don't have time to play with you.
As with every enemy in Purgatory, this will actually take some time, and I do encounter yet another fight. I'm using a mana root now to restore some of Johnny's MP because Ether Purge takes like about 300 or so. Okay, this was the way. I was a bit confused because when a fight gets thrown in, it's kind of difficult to memorize exactly where you need to go. Unless, of course, it's absolutely simple, like straightforward.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be cheap yet again, using Melt Crest. Even so, it reshuffles the turn intervals, so the rest of my characters have turns, whereas everyone else doesn't. I didn't exactly realize that it induces debuffs. I think it just does that for whichever debuff that you have equipped, and whatever their weakness is. If you want to experiment with that, personally I don't really plan on doing that. And at the moment Frank has equipped the Demon Ward and the Thor's Belt, so things are going to be much easier, especially since he's going to be incredibly strong. Let's see if I can beat this guy. Took a while. I am trying to show these things no mercy, because if, as you've seen before, they perform double combos and double attacks, but they will do a lot more annoying attacks, like they will do Black Hole. This one I think specifically does Red Gravity, but it will also do some other things like Energy Charge and pre-ignition. So a lot of damage right there. Let's finish this combo off with Frank, which will basically wipe the floor with this thing. Like that.
Zep, no problem. I hit you with the blunt side.
Okay. That should do it, but that means I only have 5 minutes to try and finish the boss here. This one. Okay. First off, restore everyone's magic. Then I'm going to equip to Slim Hilda a crucifix. However, this is going to leave Frank quite vulnerable, and I don't exactly have any heal spells to cure him. Or I think actually I do. For Johnny at least. I kind of wish that Shania has a heal ability, but she doesn't. Once I get Ricardo, things are going to get much easier. Well, first let's fuse with Chirawa. And, use Sunlit Bells so everyone else gets a turn ahead of me. Or gets a turn ahead of this thing. But at this point, the enemies are gonna... these bosses, are gonna get tougher and tougher. And there will actually be a point where they will use Spirit Ward. So don't get too attached to your characters. Got rid of its stock, but I'm just trying to see if I can induce the status abnormality. Even so, it's not a big deal. Okay. Yeah, since I only have 3 crucifixes, I recommend that you get 4, and by that point you've already gotten every snap in this game, excluding the final boss. Because just before the final boss you can get the crucifix. Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Ow. Yeah, I should have remembered exactly what I said, and that is, don't take these things lightly, because they get stronger the more you progress through Purgatory. They're, like, really super powerful. What I'm gonna do is Shining Zephyr to take back what I lost. And restore some health. Okay. Yeah, Frank isn't gonna get healed because he has apathy. So let's use Aqua Edge on him, since he is the one with the buff. Though technically, Shania also has it as well, and I should have figured that much. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of difference. I'm going to use, I was gonna see if I had an edge magic, but I don't. So instead, what I'm going to do is use Entrance on Chirawa to induce some more damage. Her turn will be coming up soon. However, I'm not going to use Hilda very often. It will be until, like, the last boss in Purgatory where I'm actually going to use Kirby Hilda, because she'll be at her most useful. Alright, let's do this. Ow. Should have seen this coming. Alright, this will do a little bit more damage. So that's Sand Bell, high physical attack, and elemental damage. And since I have Entrance, I'm gonna use Sun Flare. But after this, I won't have exactly enough time to finish this. It'll make it weak, however, but it won't defeat it. So ultimately what I did was, I actually, once it said Entrance wore off, I actually paused. Okay. So let's wrap up here, and I will see you later.